Debbie Minter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium alongside Evan Epstein. I'm Ari Wall. Glad to be back on the broadcast and bringing you this final game of 3 between the Sasquatch and the Zap here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Let's take a look at the Oahe Zap starting lineup. And Evan, take it away.
Jackson Mix back in the leadoff spot. He's at the hot corner tonight after a 4-for-6 night. Noah Wiggins hitting second out in left field. Buck Snabs, as we mentioned in the pregame show, he'll be batting third, playing short. Vince Polizzi cleaning up at first. Mason Lang DHing tonight. Mike Manham bats 6 out in right field. Will Calcaterra behind the plate batting 7th. Trey Martin at second. He'll bat 8th. Rounding out the Zap lineup in center field is Emiliano Curiel.
Yeah, that lineup will be taking on the starting pitcher for the Spearfish Sasquatch, and it'll be Jordan Bowman. This is only the second time we're seeing him start a game this season. He actually started the very first game of the year against the Casper Spuds way back in early July, but now he's getting the start here, or early June, I should say. Now he's getting the start here against the Oahe Zap. You take a look at the numbers for him on the season. They look pretty good. A 2.92 ERA, a whip of 1.62, and his last time out was against the Fremont Moo. He came out of the bullpen back on June 6th, and that game ended up going into extra innings. He pitched 5 innings, struck out 8, and did not allow an earned run. The Sasquatch would go on and win that game in 11 innings thanks to the effort by Bowman out of the bullpen. A chance for him back on the bump today. This was originally spent to be Jackson Renz's day on the mound, but he was unable to be with the team today. So Jordan Bowman had to step in and make the start here today. This is an opportunity to see a couple Cerro Coso guys like we mentioned in the open. You've got Jordan Bowman on the mound for the Sasquatch. The Zap will be rolling out one in Aiden Johnson, and we'll talk about in the bottom of the first, of course, the head coach for the Sasquatch. Head coach Justice Scott is the coach over at Cerro Coso as well. Jackson Mix digs in from the left side. Bowman's first pitch is lined right to second, and it's caught. Right on the money, perfectly placed, is Ryan Bachman. And with that being said, let's take a look at the whole defense outside of just Bachman. Starting off in the outfield, Lane Syme gets the start out in left field. Braden Gastisha is in center. Javier Marcial's in right. The infield third to first, Dylan Darnell, Micah Coleman, Ryan Bachman, and Kyle Finn. And behind the plate, it's Jake Dempsey, and he's catching Jordan Bowman. First pitch in there for a strike on Noah Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins 1 for 5 yesterday, scored a couple of runs, couple of strikeouts though as well, but it was his play in the outfield yesterday that impressed. A diving catch in left field.
Strike 2 there on Wiggins. So an early 0-2 count here for Bowman, looking for a quick 2 outs. And he bounces one in the dirt, now ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Jackson Mix, first batter of the inning. He was first pitch swinging off Bowman, saw a fastball he liked right down the middle, hit it hard, but right at Ryan Bachman, who returns to the start of the lineup tonight for the Sasquatch back at second base.
1-2 sales up and away. Now an even count on Wiggins. Wiggins so far on the season, 12 hits in 57 trips. That's a .211 batting average. Getting on base at a high clip, though, 375. That's why we're seeing him the number 2 spot. Off-speed pitch is lofted in the air to left center field. Ranging over is Syme. Gastisha comes over from center. And he puts it away. A quick 2 outs for Jordan Bowman, who's pitching well so far today. And we'll take a look at some of the total keys for the Sasquatch here in this game. Starting pitching, of course, is a key. Easton Brooks got the start in yesterday's game, but the Sasquatch over their last 10 games, starting pitchers have combined for 44 innings. The Sasquatch are 7-3 in their last 10 games. His first pitch misses upstairs to Buck Snabs. Of course, the early offense as well, a big key for the Sasquatch. They've been scoring a lot of first inning runs over their last stretch. And then rain go away. Hopefully no rain in the forecast. There is some possibly scheduled, but hopefully we can get this game in without any rain delay and we can play a full 9 innings and see these two teams for a final time. 5 times these teams have met over the last 5 games and seen each other quite a bit. Swing and a miss on a Buck Snabs. Now the count is 1-2 on the shortstop.
Yeah, Snabs, as we mentioned in the pregame, he's been hot of late, dating back to June 11th. 11 for 29 at the plate. Reached in all 5 plate appearances last night, 2 for 2. Hit by a couple pitches to go along with a walk. Snabs, he's been putting together good at-bats as of late.
Yeah, Buck Snabs, we highlighted him in the off-the-wall stats. Him and Danny Cook, both players really hot over their last 8 games. Snabs trying to continue it here in the first as he fouls away another one from Jordan Bowman. There's definitely some clouds in the sky, which isn't necessarily promising. The weather's nice, though, here at the ballpark, about 72 degrees, but got a chance of thunderstorms, currently about 40% at 8 o'clock and 30% at 9 o'clock. 1-2 again. This is in the air to left field. Should be playable for Syme. Couple steps in. Now ranging to his left end. He'll put it away. A quick top of the first inning for starter Jordan Bowman. Sasquatch bats now coming to the plate. No score through the top of the first.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes. At our clinic locations throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us. Working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger. Getting better. Getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time, I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Let's take a look at the Sasquatch lineup as we get set for the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off, it's Ryan Bachman back in the leadoff spot. Braden Gastisha, the center fielder, second. Kyle Finn off of winning player of the game. He's batting third. Javier Marcial cleans up. He's fourth. Dylan Darnell fifth. Micah Coleman sixth. And then the bottom third, Syme, Dempsey, and Cook. So how the Sasquatch will line up as a first pitch in there for a strike. Going against Aiden Johnson, we mentioned the Saracoso connection. Him and Bowman, of course, head coach Justice Scott as well. And Johnson, we've seen him and Bowman both playing as hitters, also as pitchers. Today, he's on the mound.
Yeah, Johnson, as mentioned earlier, a big fastball, slider, curve combination. He likes to work his off-speed pitch in on the hands of righties, dropping the first pitch curveball in there for a strike on Bachman.
Count now, ball and 2 strikes on Ryan Bachman. We saw Seth Nelson get the start in the leadoff hole yesterday. Ryan Bachman moved all the way down to 4, which is unusual. Usually we see him in the leadoff spot. He's back to his comfortable spot there at the top of the order. And he has just been on a torrid stretch at the plate, batting .380 in the month of June. This pitch is in the dirt so far this season. Hits in 16 of 20 games, and he's reached base safely in each of those 20 games. Hasn't gone a game where he hasn't been on base. That's why they love him so much at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, Bachman bringing in a 10-game hitting streak into this one, extending it to double digits. Last night he was 1 for 3.
And make it 11. There's a hit just inside the line on the third baseline. Bachman will take a turn around first and head for second. Little trouble in the outfield by Wiggins as he'll get the ball in. Leadoff double for Ryan Bachman here to begin this ballgame for the Sasquatch.
Yeah, Bachman got a pitch on the inside portion of the plate, and he was ready for it. Turning on that one, Jackson Mix, not much of a chance there. The ball right down the line, hit hard off the bat of Bachman. So a leadoff double early here for the Sasquatch. Already a high leverage situation for Aiden Johnson.
Brings up Braden Gostisha, and this is a bat that hasn't been all too hot for the Sasquatch. He's just 3 for his last 38. Batting average of 130 on the season for the Sasquatch, but he works a lot of long at-bats, and he gets on base at a high clip. That's why we're seeing him again in the 2-hole after a start in the 2 spot yesterday. He's back there today, and he swings and misses at a first pitch strike.
Well, you mentioned the low average, hitting 130 on the season with Kyle Finn and Marcial sitting in the hole. This has to be a batter that you attack here if you're Aiden Johnson.
0-1 is fouled away quickly, 0-2. You mentioned Gostisha, 4th in the team in quality at-bats. He's got 34 on the season. 25% of his at-bats go 6 or more pitches, which is certainly something you like to see out of a guy at the top of the order. Ryan Bachman does the same thing. Long at-bats, forces these guys to throw a lot of pitches, and you've mentioned that not a lot of arms today in the bullpen, but there's already one getting loose in the bottom of the first inning with Johnson on the mound. Gostisha waves and misses. This ball is going to get away. Bachman will advance to third, and Calcaterra won't have a play at first, so a strikeout on Gostisha, but he'll reach on the wild pitch, and the Sasquatch have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there from Aiden Johnson. Will Calcaterra unable to stop that ball. It was a good pitch. He buried the curveball. He got the chase on it, but unfortunately the runner advancing down to first in Gostisha. Looks like the Zap bullpen, those are 2 pitchers. Looks like they're just playing catch, warming up out there. Doesn't seem like they're getting ready to enter the ball game just yet.
First pitch misses on Kyle Finn. What a day it was for Kyle Finn yesterday. Continued what's been a great season for him. Went 2 for 5, hit a home run, drove in a pair, and scored 3 runs. Earned him his second landmark Realty and Development Player of the Game, and this one might earn him another, as there's a base hit into left field. Bachman will score easily. 3 straight runners who've reached, and an early 1-0 lead for the Sasquatch off an RBI single by Kyle Finn.
Yeah, good job by Finn at the plate. Aggressive on the first pitch. He got the off-speed pitch on the inside corner. Didn't do too much with it. Took it through the left side of the infield. Sasquatch out to a quick 1-0 lead. To go back off the home run you mentioned from Finn yesterday, boy, that was a moonshot over the Black Hills Energy Stadium scoreboard out there in left field.
I think it was the farthest ball we've seen hit here at the ballpark, as Bachman's homer, I think, went off the scoreboard. That one cleared it. This is grounded to third, maybe a chance to turn 2. The throw to second's in time for 1. On to first, and it's in time. Just beating Javier Marcial at first by maybe half a step. 5-4-3 double play, and pitcher's best friend there if you're Aiden Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great play by Jackson Mix at third. He could have gone to the bag for the first out, but that would have taken more time than going to second for 1, and it would have been a longer throw across the diamond. Mix recognizing that, quickly goes to second. That allows Trey Martin to turn the double play for the Zap.
First pitch to Darnell's hit in the air to right center field. Going to be a long run for Monum and Curiel, and that ball is going to get over the head of the right fielder, Mike Monum. Darnell's digging hard for second. He takes a turn. He's headed for third. Relay throw to third is not in time. It hits Darnell. He's in there safely. That's an RBI triple. Scoring from third is Gostisha, and it's a 2-0 Sasquatch lead.
Yeah, it looked like Emiliano Curiel was playing in left center field out when he saw that pitch. It was a long run for both him and Mike Monum. Neither of them getting there. Darnell's got wheels on the base paths, making his way into third.
That'll bring up Micah Coleman. 2 away, and again a runner on third. As Coleman watches this first pitch drift outside. While we got a break, we'll give you the Zap defense quickly. It's Wiggins, Curiel, and Monum. You saw both of them on that last play. That's the infield left to right. The infield is Jackson Mix, Buck Snabs on the left side. Trey Martin at second and Vince Belizzi at first. And the catcher is Will Calcaterra. He's catching Aiden Johnson. Ball and a strike here on Micah Coleman.
Yeah, so the Sasquatch now out to a quick lead here in the bottom of the first inning. A little bit of a reversal from the past couple of days. So they get going at the plate after what was a 1-2-3 inning for the Zap. It'll be interesting to see if the Bats can wake up coming into the second inning as the Zap now in a 2-0 hole.
This one is in the dirt. Calcaterra gets enough of it to block it. Well, first inning runs have been a bit of a theme for the Sasquatch. Coming into today, they'd scored 21 first inning runs over their last 11 games, and as a team, they are 10-2 when they score first. So early offense has definitely been a key factor for the Sasquatch. They tack on 2 runs here in the first today. And a ground ball to third, fielded by Mix. Throw across the diamond, will retire Coleman, and that's the third out of the inning. Sasquatch bring home a pair thanks to RBIs by Kyle Finn and Dylan Darnell, and they'll carry a 2-0 lead when we head to the second.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Runs for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the first, helping Jordan Bowman out, who begins Vince Polizzi with a pitch outside. Ball 1 to the dangerous first baseman of the Zap, who has been one of their hottest bats this season. And lines one into center field, hard hit, but right at Gostisha. Man, he hit it right on the screws. That is out number 1.
Yeah, already early on here, couple of hard hit balls from the Zap back in the first inning. Now Vince Polizzi right on that fastball out to center field. Like you said, right at Gostisha. Not much Polizzi can do on that one. He's been hitting .311 on the year, now 0 for 1 on the night, bringing up Mason Lang.
DH Mason Lang takes in the dirt for ball 1. Lang getting the start as a designated hitter today for the Zap. Comes into today with a .245 batting average. This is his 16th game played on the season. And he hits one in the air to right field. Going to be a long run for Marcial. He'll have to play it on a hop. He couldn't close onto that ball in time. It's the first base runner of the game for the Zap, a single for Mason Lang.
Good piece of hitting there by Lang, fighting a fastball on the inside corner over to right field. A little bit off the inside of the bat, but dropping down there nicely.
Now that'll bring up Mike Monum, right fielder today for the Oahe Zap. First pitch from Bowman just misses low.
Mike Monum in the first game of the series here in Spearfish, he was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, clutch hits in the 7th and 8th innings.
Runner goes from first and a foul ball off the bat of Monum as Lang is looking to try to generate some speed on the base pass, trying to steal second.
So Monum got the day off yesterday. He'll be going to the Northwoods League later this summer in a couple of weeks, heading up to Canada. The Thunder Bay, the team out there.
Lang stays put on the 1-1 and a pitch outside. Now 2-1 on Monum.
And that game coming back on Wednesday, a sight to see for Monum, who's now hitting 167 of the year. It's been a slow start for him. But, you know, the whole team rallied around Mike Monum after those clutch hits. The one in the 7th cutting the deficit to 1. The one in the 8th extended the lead to 3, a couple of RBIs on that base hit.
Ground ball foul. Now 2-2. The speed at first, Mason Lang, who attempted a stolen base for a foul ball. He's 2 of 2 on stolen base attempts this season. Yeah, you mentioned Mike Monum, the struggles at the plate. 167 batting average entering today, 6 for 36. 2-2. That's into right center field. That ball is going to get down between Gastisha and Marcial. Gastisha cuts it off nicely in front of the warning track. They're going to send Lang to the plate. The throw to the plate is in time, and he's out. What a relay throw. First Gastisha in the outfield, then Bachman on the infield. Perfect to the plate. Jake Dempsey applies the tag, and that is out number 2.
Like you said, a perfect relay throw coming in from right center field. I don't think the Sasquatch expected Lang to be running around third, as Gastisha did a good job to cut that ball off. A little bit of an interesting decision. You would have had second and third with 1 out. It was an aggressive decision. Lang was out by about, say, 15 feet at the plate. You keep him at third, 2 runners on with 1 man out. And the Zap are threatening now just a runner on second with 2 outs.
You can't say enough about that read off the bat by Braden Gastisha to cut that ball off before it got to the warning track and then quickly pivot and turn to the plate. That's going to help Jordan Bowman put up a second 0 as Calcaterra flies out to Simon left field. And with the help from his defense, a beautiful relay from Gastisha to Bowman, or pardon me, to Bachman and then to Dempsey. The Sasquatch put up another 0 and they lead it 2-0.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back in sports medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
Hey, nice one. Lucero, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Getting ready for the bottom of the second inning. Score 2-0 Sasquatch after some great defensive play in the top of the second. Kept the Zap off the board. It's also 70s night here at the ballpark here on this Friday afternoon. It's the first of 3 of our decades or eras weekends, whichever way you want to put it. 70s night tonight, final game of this series against the Oahe Zap, and then the Sasquatch will welcome the Plainsmen Saturday and Sunday, and that will be 80s night Saturday, 90s night on Sunday. So hope to see you out on the ballpark for what hopes to be better weather and hopefully no rain in the forecast. Been able to get through 2 and hasn't rained yet, so hopefully we could keep this up. Right now the weather still says the rain is supposed to come around 8 o'clock, so we only have to get through 5 innings. If one of these teams has a lead after that point and the other team is batting, then the game would be called. Inside the lane, Syme. Count goes 2-1. It's Syme, Dempsey, and Cook, 7, 8, 9 in the order here in the home half of the second.
Well, knock on wood, but the clouds seeming to be passing far away from the stadium, kind of in the backdrop here. Beautiful mountains behind Black Hills Energy Stadium, covered in pretty dark clouds right now. But up above us, skies seem relatively clear.
Yeah, the sun is trying to peek through. It's tried to peek through a couple times along that first base line. Right now it's peeking through. Hopefully we can get a little more of that as this inning goes along. Lane Syme works a walk to begin the home half of the second. And again, an early base runner coming for the Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's problematic from Aiden Johnson. Johnson had walked just 6 batters in 12 innings coming into this ball game. But bringing up Jake Dempsey, who's now in just his 4th game, we'll see if Johnson can regain the strike zone here.
First pitch to Dempsey's inside, ball 1. Jake Dempsey, take a look at what he's done this season. It's only his third game as a hitter. Made his first start as a catcher, went 0 for 3. His second game, he went 2 for 5. That was against the Zap back on June 17th. Drove in a pair and scored a run in that game. Now have been added as sort of the 4th catcher to this team in a rotation with Chance Green, Brinkley Evans, and Nolan Ackerman, who just recently came. Check in on Syme, close play, and he's safe. Syme was leaning towards second base, and Johnson almost caught him flat-footed.
Yeah, wise pickoff move there from Aiden Johnson, and he is quick on the mound. Syme continuing to lean down towards second base.
Not going on the 2-0. This one's grounded to short. Softly hit, going to be tough to turn to. The shovel to second's not in time. Buck Snabs maybe thought he had more time than he did. He goes with the underhand shovel, trying to get Syme at second base, and it's not in time. Dempsey's going to reach on the infield single.
Yeah, the infield's grass took a lot of pace off of that ball. Buck Snabs staying calmly at second. He didn't really look up at the runner. Field the flip, caught a lot of air under the ball. Took some time to get over to Trey Martin at second. Syme wisely digging hard into second base. A little bit of a mental mistake there in the infield.
Brings up the 9-hole hitter in Danny Cook, and usually you think a 9-hole hitter can't hit. Danny Cook surely can as he grounds the first pitch foul. Danny Cook started off the season. Wasn't maybe so hot to begin the year, but since his last 8 games, we highlighted him in our off-the-wall stats. He's batting .393 now on the season. On-base percentage of .414. Had a 4-hit game yesterday. Man, he's been swinging a much better bat, and need we remind you, he just graduated high school only a short time ago, swinging with a wood bat against college guys, and he's adjusted well.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnson back in the first inning, he forced 2 ground balls over to third, one of which went for a double play. Now with runners on first and second, let's see if he goes to the off-speed pitch to try and induce a ground ball once again.
Grounded, and he does get a ground ball, but there's nowhere playing there. Syme is going to round third and head for home. Wiggins won't throw to the plate lane. Syme scores, and so he called the ground ball, but Buck Snabs was shaded towards the bag, and it winds up an RBI single for Danny Cook, 3-1.
Yeah, you can't much fault Aiden Johnson there. It wasn't necessarily a hard-hit ground ball either, just a wide-open hole on the left side, resulting in the RBI for Daniel Cook, extending the Sasquatch lead to now 3 runs. And if you're Johnson, you got to just take that one and move on and continue to work here.
So now the Sasquatch already in the second inning with nobody out. They've gone through the order once. It's back to the leadoff spot. Ryan Bachman, who grounds one to third. It eats up Jackson Mitz, who runs into Jake Dempsey. There's going to be no play. Will likely go down as an error on a ground ball to Jackson Mitz, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
It's tough for Aiden Johnson. I mean, what more can you ask for as a pitcher? 2 ground balls, not necessarily hard hit. You think that you have a double play chance possibly on that second one to Jackson Mix. Mix might have just gone to first for the play, but after that error now, bases loaded with no one out, and it's back to Braden Gostisha.
What an opportunity this is for Braden Gostisha, who looks at ball 1 in the dirt. Already have made an impact in the field with a great relay throw. Began with him in the ground or the double into center fields. He was able to cut it off and gun down Mason Lang at the plate in the top of the second inning. Now he's got an opportunity to sort of break out of this slump he's been in at the plate. Try to do it on both sides of the ball. Bases loaded, nobody out. Sasquatch already leading this one 3-0. And this one's yanked in the dirt. Dempsey's going to come home, and everybody's going to advance 90 feet. Wild pitch brings home run number 4 for the Sasquatch. Jake Dempsey will score. The Sasquatch tack on another.
Yeah, that's the first true mistake there from Aiden Johnson on the mound this inning, yanking the fastball down and in. Will Calcaterra unable to get in front of the pitch, allowing the runner from third to come home and score. Also takes out the force play as the other runners now advancing to second and third. Still no one out here in the bottom of the second.
Danny Cook on third, Bachman on second, and a 2-0 pitch is in the dirt. Now Johnson losing a bit of the strike zone. He's falling behind Gostisha 3-0 with a dangerous bat looming in Kyle Finn.
And Kyle Finn had an RBI knockback in the first inning. That one opened up the scoring.
3-0, you assume Gostisha's got the take sign. He doesn't. He's going after it, and he fouls it away, 3-1.
Yeah, big swing and a foul ball there off the bat at Gostisha. He saw the pitch he wanted to see, a fastball coming in, middle in for the lefty and Gostisha, unable to do anything with it. Still in a hitter's count here at 3-1, can continue to be selective.
Zap keeping the infield back. The corner is a little bit further in with Mix and Palizzi, though they're not quite on the grass. A couple steps back. Gostisha ropes one into right field. That's a base hit. Scoring easily from third is Cook. It's cut off nicely in right field. Now coming to the plate is Bachman. Throw from Palizzi. That's not in time. 2-run single for Braden Gostisha. Much needed hit. Brings home a pair. And the Sasquatch jump out early. It's 6-0.
Well, that's what Gostisha was trying to do with the 3-0 pitch. He got it once again, kind of on the inner third, turning on the fastball out towards right field. It was a nice play by Mike Monham to cut it off in right, but the ball's so far down near the right field line, no chance to get the runner at home in Ryan Bachman.
Yeah, fastball's in. Usually that's where you like it as a left-handed hitter. Gostisha missed on a 3-0 pitch, but didn't miss on 3-1. Comes up with a base hit. Now on base for a second time in 2 at-bats in just 2 innings. Kyle Finn will come back to the plate. Like you mentioned, an RBI single in his first trip. This one's chopped weakly to the mound. Johnson will turn and try to go to second, and just able to keep the foot on the bag is the second baseman, Martin. Man, what a break that would have been for the Sasquatch. Finally, the Zap get the first out of the inning on that 1-4.
Yeah, the throw from Johnson just pulling snaps a little bit off the bag. Johnson got a little bit lucky on the pitch. It looked like a hanging breaking ball to Kyle Finn. Finn just out ahead of it, off the end of the bat, right back up the middle, as the Zap pick up the first out now at the bottom of the second inning.
Brings up Javier Marcial now to the plate. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. Sasquatch brought home 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Brought home 4 runs here in the second inning. First 5 batters to come to the plate reached. First out there just recorded by Zap starter Aiden Johnson. Pick off the first. Kyle Finn is back in time. Certainly if you're Johnson right now looking to limit the damage, and to go back to something you touched on before this game started, the Zap, maybe not the deepest in the bullpen. You need some outs here from Aiden Johnson, who even though he might not have his best stuff, he might not be able to get these Sasquatch guys out right now. You need him to work through a big part of this game to save some of those arms.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the game plan coming into today is get Johnson through 5 innings. He's been struggling here in the early going. the top of the third and top of the fourth innings are going to be very important for the Zap. They're going to need to get runs on the board if they want to stay in this ball game. And then you start to think about going to the pen. But as it stands, a 6-run game, you want to just get outs from your starting pitcher right now.
Now count is 1-2 on Javier Marcial, who grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. Going to make up for it here in the second. Still just one out on the board. Kyle Finn, lead off of first. He's taken off, and Marcial skies one into right field. That ball's carrying pretty well. Monham's going back, and he puts it away. Kyle Finn might have been deked on the base pass. They're going to double him up at first base. I took my eye off of what was happening in the infield, but clearly he was deked, and they're going to turn two. So Javier Marcial, unfortunately, is now grounded and flown into a double play. Sasquatch will take it, though. 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning as we've played 2 here at the ballpark. 6-0, Sasquatch lead it.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Spot On teamwork saves me so much time, I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
4 more runs for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the second inning. A nice play defensively to finish off that half inning. 9-3 double play. Mike Monham made the catch. Kyle Finn was going on the pitch, and they were able to double him off of first base to get the third out of the inning. Sasquatch brought home 4 runs, and now it's Jordan Bowman who's back out on the mound for the top of the third inning. Bowman's worked effectively through 2 innings, putting up a pair of zeros, facing 8-9-1 in the order, beginning with Trey Martin, who grounds one to short. Coleman fields it and throws across to retire Martin. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the third inning for Jordan Bowman, who has now just thrown 24 pitches, and he's gotten 6-7 outs in this game.
Yeah, well, the Zap have been aggressive at the plate, and it just hasn't paid off to this point. The first 7 hitters that Bowman has faced all flew out to the outfield or base hits out into the outfield. That now broken by Trey Martin's ground out to short, bringing up Emiliano Curiel.
And again, aggressive on the first pitch as he fouls it away. Clearly part of the game plan against Bowman.
And now we have the matchup between the Saracoso teammates, Emiliano Curiel, who was 1 for 4 last night. 3 RBIs, a couple in the 7th that gave the Zap a 2-run lead. They would rescind it in the bottom of the inning. The Sasquatch tying the game up at 10. Sasquatch would tack on 6 in the bottom of the 8th. Final score 16-10.
0-2 fastball on the corner. That's strike 3 looking. Needs just 3 pitches to retire Emiliano Curiel. It's his first strikeout of the game, and that's out number 2. Gotta assume that'll be some bragging rights when they go back to school.
Yeah, well, Curiel will likely have another matchup or 2 against Bowman, especially considering how quickly Bowman is moving through the lineup.
Yeah, 27 pitches, 20 of them for strikes, and he's maybe just 1 or 2 pitches away from working through a third inning. As he drops in a strike on Jackson Mix. A couple hard hit balls like you mentioned in the first inning. Of course, the fly out by Vince Palizzi was probably the hardest hit ball, even though not a hit. He's allowed just 2 today, a single and a double. Got help from his defense, got an out on the base pass. This one goes in off the dirt inside on Jackson Mix.
Yeah, mixed one of those hard hit balls to lead off the game in the first. A line drive right at Ryan Bachman at second base. And so unable to cash in on that one.
1-1. Goes to the breaking ball and he misses outside. See mostly fastballs from Jordan Bowman, though he does have a slider and a splitter that he goes to. That looked like the slider that just got away from him. The go-to pitch, though, usually is the fastball. That's what he got Curiel on to strike him out. Now 3-1. I don't think he's been in a 3-ball count so far today. He's just been commanding the zone really well. Something we saw some struggles out of Bowman his first start of the year against Casper. But he was much better against the Fremont Moo when he came out of the bullpen, pitched 5 innings, struck out 8 guys, and didn't allow an earned run. He kept the Sasquatch in the ball game. Game that the Sasquatch would end up winning thanks to a game-tying home run by Marcial in the 9th, and then early offense in the 11th. Mix flies one into left field. That's going to go foul. Keep the count here full on the leadoff man.
Yeah, and Mix has been having a very good series, 4 for 6 yesterday. Now with the line out in the first, he's 6 for 12 on the series. 3 RBIs over that span.
3-2, that one gets away from Bowman. The first walk issued by Jordan Bowman today. It's a 2-out free pass to Jackson Mix, who continues to have a strong series. Not a hit, but he gets on base.
Yeah, good at bat there from Mix, fouling off a couple pitches with 2 strikes. Not a bad pitch from Bowman, the off-speed pitch just missing outside. Like you said, Jackson Mix seeing the ball very well at the plate right now, working a 2-out walk.
I'll bring up Noah Wiggins, left fielder for the Zap. First pitch to Wiggins, keep the aggressiveness going. He fouls it off, and I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but this is now batter number 10 that Jordan Bowman is facing. I'd venture to say maybe 7 of those guys starting at the first pitch, 6 or 7 of them today.
I got you on batter number 11 here. We got second,
11, right.
second batter of the top of the Zap lineup.
Check in on Mix, he's safe at first. This one's in the dirt. Mix will stay put at first. Now, an even count here on Noah Wiggins.
Yeah, and right now this is a key 2-out opportunity for the Zap. You don't think Mix is going to be going on the base paths. Hasn't tried to steal a base so far this season, but just the second base runner of the game coming with 2 outs.
That's a strike in there on Noah Wiggins. Now 1-2. Ryan Bachman, the second baseman, shaded a little bit more towards the bag, so if Noah Wiggins can get a ball on the outer part of the plate, big hole on the right side of the infields. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the third, Jordan Bowman looking to put up a 3rd straight 0. And Noah Wiggins stays alive to foul it away. You mentioned the Zap bullpen side of things. Maybe not a lot of guys available. The Sasquatch bullpen, and this is game 5 in a row for both of these teams. Game 5 of these 2 teams facing against each other. Sasquatch have won 3 out of the first 4. Zap took game 1 2 days ago in the middle of this 3-game homestand for the Sasquatch. Bowman just misses outside with the slider, looking for his 2nd strikeout of the game. But Sasquatch bullpen maybe not the deepest as well. You saw Aiden Torpy, one of the most trusted guys in the bullpen, pitching 2 innings in yesterday's game. You'd assume he's unavailable today. So if Bowman gets into some trouble, have to go with some of the lower leverage guys. This is in the air to left field and pretty well struck. Syme going back, still back, on the track. He puts it away. Hard hit ball for Noah Wiggins, but it winds up as out number 3. Syme is able to find it and retire Wiggins. End of the top of the 3rd. Sasquatch still lead this one 6-0.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice. Games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
Appreciate you for spending some of your Friday afternoon with us here at the ballpark alongside Evan Epstein, the voice of the Oahe Zap, who's been joining us for this whole homestand. It's been a pleasure to have him on doing color. Even when Stephen Hogenkamp took over for me yesterday, Evan Epstein has been doing a great job color. Excited for the end of this ball game as well. I'm Ari Wall, glad to join you here on a Friday afternoon as Dylan Darnall waves and misses at the first pitch from Johnson. Count goes 0-1 on the Sasquatch third baseman.
You know, we've been talking about the lack of availability in the Zap bullpen. Johnson, just 39 pitches through the first 2 innings despite giving up 6 runs. That in big thanks to 2 double plays back in the second inning. It was Mike Monham with a catch out in right field and then a heck of a throw on the fly to Vince Polizzi at first that doubled off the runner in Kyle Finn.
Yeah, 2 double plays in this game turned behind Aiden Johnson certainly helps out the pitch count. And it's been a bit of a theme for the Sasquatch as well, swinging early in counts. They've been aggressive as well on the Zap starter. 1-2 pitches, chop foul. Dylan Darnall's been one of the Sasquatch's hottest bats in the month of June. He's raised his total batting average up to .341 on the season. In the month of June, 11 for 28, batting .393, hit his first home run of the season yesterday. Grounds 1 to second. Martin fields it on the backhand and throws out Darnall for the first out. Brings up the shortstop, Micah Coleman. Talk about a hot bat. Micah Coleman has been that. This is now just his 11th game of the season as he missed the start of the season. But since coming to the team, he's hit safely in 9 out of 10 games he's played in. Doing so with a batting average close to 400 at .382.
Yeah, Coleman's first at bat back in the first, a sharp ground ball over to Jackson Mix. It was a nice play by Mix. That saved a run as he retired Coleman to end the inning.
Yeah, Coleman's been doing it all at shortstop, and I think you mentioned talking with Steven yesterday, a bit of a good problem to have for head coach Justice Scott as he's gotten a lot of guys who've got the ability to hit the ball, do so well. Got Danny Cook, who's DHing and batting 9th today after a 4-hit effort. I mean, what more can the kid do? But stick with him at the bottom of the order. They've got power down there with Lane Syme as well, who's waiting on deck. This is a deep lineup and a lineup that is poised to make a push towards the second half. As it looks right now, the Casper Spuds should be able to wrap up the first half victory, which would secure them a spot in the playoffs. It's going to be up to these other teams to battle it out in the second half and see who comes away with either the best record in the second half or the best record overall. That team would go on to face the Casper Spuds.
Yeah, Coleman and Cook hitting .382 and .393 respectively coming into this one.
Batting average only going to go up now as Coleman hits one in the air to left field. That's going to get down. He's racing for second. He's going to slide in there safely as Micah Coleman maybe takes advantage of Emiliano Curiel, who was a little slow to play that ball in center. Turns into a 1-out double for Micah Coleman.
Yeah, the shortstop continuing to hit well. The only problem for the Sasquatch has been the field play at short. I believe on Friday it was Coleman who made 3 errors at short. Cook 2 errors at short last night. So that has been a bit of an issue, but they've been fantastic at the plate.
Brings up the left fielder Lane Syme with now a runner in scoring position. Skies one into center field. Curiel ranging over towards right center. He makes the catch. Coleman bluffs the tag, and he'll turn back and head for second. Fly out for Syme again. Aggressive on the first pitch. Flies out for the second out.
I was just about to say, and that'll help out the pitch count of Aiden Johnson. You know, after that one, Johnson has now thrown just 51 pitches, almost through his third inning of work. And given the fact that he's given up 6 runs in this ballgame, 51 pitches, not bad for the righty.
See if the Sasquatch stay aggressive here. Now Jake Dempsey steps to the plate. He does, and he goes after the first pitch and hits it into left field. They're going to wave Coleman around. Here comes the throw from left. Wiggins' throw is right on line. Coleman slides in there, and that's out at the plate. What a throw by Noah Wiggins, gunning down Micah Coleman. And again, the defense helping out Aiden Johnson. What a throw.
Yeah, and Noah Wiggins has been fantastic this whole series out in left field. Last night, a diving play, that one in the 5th inning. Later in the 5th inning, a ball that was sinking fast. He made the catch on the run. He has been an absolute rock-solid defender for the Zap out there in left field.
We've played 3. Sasquatch lead this one 6-0.
When you venture to spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Orthopedics and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Buck Snabs bunts the first pitch down the line. Coleman, or Darnell I should say, fields it, and the throw to first is not in time. It's one way to stay aggressive. Technically a swing on the first pitch as Buck Snabs puts a perfectly placed bunt inside the line. And a leadoff single for Snabs.
Yeah, interesting play from Dylan Darnall down there at third. Don't get me wrong, perfectly placed bunt off the bat of Snabs, but that might have been rolling to the left. Darnall had no shot once he fielded. Might have liked to see that one roll out down towards third base. It had a lot of pace still left on the ball.
Yeah, there's no question as the first pitch is a ball to Vince Polizzi. There's no question that the defense has been one of the Sasquatch's toughest parts this season. So far coming into today, they committed 38 errors this season, an average of 1.7 errors per game. That one, of course, not an error, but you got to wonder what happens if that ball, maybe Darnell thinks with the speed of Snabs, let that ball go by. See what happens with the grass and the dirt, which way the ball ends up going, maybe goes foul. Polizzi skies one into right field. Marcial was playing really deep. He's going to have a long run, and he is not going to get there, and the ball drops inside the line. That's a fair ball. Snabs is hustling for third. He'll get there standing up. It's a double for Vince Polizzi, and Javier Marcial is playing almost near the warning track because of Polizzi's speed. Winds up a double for the Zap.
Yeah, Polizzi, a high fly ball. A lot of time for Marcial. I mean, typically you expect your right fielder to be able to get to that ball, but when you're facing the power of Polizzi, who has 6 home runs on the year, outfielders play deep on him. And that just seemed to find the perfect spot out there. Kind of, it wasn't even shallow right field. It was somewhat deep out there. So a double for Polizzi.
First pitch swinging, Mason Lang comes up empty. Yeah, it was maybe a couple balls inside the right field line, just barely squeaking fair. So now you got a ball in the infield grass on the left side that stayed fair, and a ball on the right side in the outfield that stayed fair. Either way, the Zap are set up with second and third and nobody out. DH Mason Lang in an even count.
And now you have Lang and Mike Monum on deck, both of whom had hits in their first at-bats. Lang a hit out towards right field. Monum a double back coming in the second inning.
Sasquatch keeping the infield back. And this is lined into center field. Coming on is Gastisha. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Scoring easily from third is Snabs. Advancing to second is Palizzi. RBI single for Mason Lang. The Zap are on the board. They've cut it down at 6-1.
Heck of a start to this game by Mason Lang, now 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI. You know, had a little bit of the struggles last night, 0 for 5. What was a tough play trying to pick off Kyle Finn at second, but quickly rebounding here today in a DH spot. Sometimes that'll let you reset as a hitter. Seems to be working so far for Lang tonight.
So Jordan Bowman had allowed just 2 hits through 3 innings. He's allowed 3 to the first 3 batters of this inning. First pitch swinging, why not keep up the trend? Mike Bonham fouls it away. The Zapper threatening here in the top of the 4th. Single by Buck Snabs, a double by Vince Palizzi. Now an RBI single for Mason Lang. Have the Zap set up with runners on the corners, already 1 run in. And a swing and a miss on Monum, now 0-2.
Yeah, Monum struggled on the off-speed pitches so far this year. You saw just swinging under what looked like a slider out of the hand of Bowman, as Monum now behind 0-2 in the count.
Bowman hoping for a strikeout or a double play here. 0-2. Just missing with the fastball outside. Now a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, like you said, just missing. That a very close pitch. I'm surprised that Monum was taking on that one with runners on first and third and no one out.
Was able to get Curiel to strike out looking on a similar fastball. Goes back to the breaking ball. It's jammed. Bowman can't field it cleanly, and Monum is going to reach. Not the hardest contact, to say the least. A ball that maybe goes 10 feet in front of the plate. It's a single for Monum, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, but for Jordan Bowman off on the mound, that ball looks like it's coming at you much harder. You're just 60 feet away from the hitter, and you think it's going to be coming at you fast. That's why he misplayed the baseball, which allowed Monum to get down to first. Now bases loaded, no outs. 1 run already in.
And maybe trying to catch that ball on the fly as well. You had Mason Lang off of first. If he catches that on a fly, maybe a chance to double him up. So he sort of reached forward and was unable to field it cleanly. Now, Will Calcaterra, 7th hole in the order. Now, bottom 3rd for the Zap. Still nobody out for the Sasquatch. First 4 batters, all hits to begin the 4th. Calcaterra swings and misses. Ball and a strike on the catcher for Oahe.
Yeah, interesting to see that one go down as a hit, but Mike Monum now 2 for 2 on the day. 4 for 6 on the series. He's continued his resurgence here in Spearfish.
Another swing and miss. A good fastball out of the hands of Bowman. Gets him in the count. Ball and 2 strikes. The Sasquatch continuing to keep the infield back. Closest one to the plate is Dylan Darnall, who's a couple steps behind, playing even with the bag at 3rd. Rest of the infield well behind the base runners. Bases loaded for the Zap in the 4th. 1-2 fastball sails away, and now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big spot here for Calcaterra, who flew out to left field back in the 1st. Just 8 strikeouts and 28 plate appearances, trying to avoid one here against Jordan Bowman.
2-2. Fastball's fouled straight back. It's been almost exclusively fastballs in this at-bat to Calcaterra as he tried to again dot up the outside corner there.
Well, you still have a pitch to work with here in the 2-2 count. He could perhaps be setting up the curveball or the slider here. Although you don't want to get into a 3-ball count with the bases loaded.
Swing and a miss. Goes with the off-speed pitch. Probably not exactly where he wanted it as he left it up in the zone, but he gets the strikeout. A big out, number 1 for Jordan Bowman as he gets Calcaterra swinging, the 2nd strikeout of the game for Jordan Bowman.
Yeah, big strikeout there from Bowman. As now it goes to Trey Martin. Boy, what a time this would be for his first hit of the year.
Swing and a miss. Fastball outside has been a big key for Jordan Bowman today. Gets a swing and miss there on Martin. Grounded out to short his first time up. Sasquatch would love another ground ball to short, maybe a chance to turn 2. Fastball this time goes inside and misses to even the count.
And if you're the Zap, you came into the top of the 4th inning in a 6-run hole, bases loaded, 1 run in with no outs. You got to think you want to get at least 2 more runs across the plate here.
4 hits in the inning, bases loaded, 1 away. Martin again behind on the fastball. Well, if you're Jordan Bowman, reading swings, that's 2 fastballs he's been mightily late on. Vince Palizzi on third. Mason Lang on second. Mike Monum on first. Jordan Bowman's 1-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs. Count even 2-2.
You like the idea from Jordan Bowman. He sees that Martin's been late on the fastball, tries to elevate one out of the zone and get Martin to chase. Instead, the count now 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. He's behind on the fastball. And a second strikeout in a row for Jordan Bowman. Back-to-back Ks with the bases loaded to keep him stranded. That's 2 outs.
Well, and here comes his Saracosa teammate in a big spot in this game. Curiel striking out, looking, coming back last inning in the 3rd. Now an opportunity here.
First pitch is fouled away off the screen and just over top the press box to our right. Strike number 1 on Emiliano Curiel.
And I'm not sure which side it came from, but "Get your boy" was yelled down there on the field. That everyone's aware of this matchup.
Bowman came out on top the first time, like you mentioned, with a strikeout looking. This one's grounded through the right side. Curiel comes out on top this time. 1 run scores. Marcial struggles with it in right field. Now the throw to the plate's not in time. 2 runs come in, Lang and Palizzi. And the lead is cut in half. 3 runs in the inning, 2 of them off the bat of Emiliano Curiel, and it is 6-3.
Yeah, Curiel just going the other way with a fastball on the outside portion of the plate. Little bit of an inside-out swing there from Curiel. Mason Lang wasn't going to round third until he saw that Marcial had trouble with the ball. Jamie Haberger, as Lang was stopping, go home, go home. As the Zap have now cut the lead in half, 6-3.
Lineup now goes back to the top. Jackson Mix, that's 3 runs in the inning for the Zap, who had been scoreless through the first 3. Jordan Bowman trying to work through this 4th. Mix grounds 1 to second. Bachman ranges over. He has to wait for Finn to get back to the bag, and the throw just beats Jackson Mix at first. But not before the Zap on 5 hits bring home 3 runs to cut this lead in half. The Sasquatch still lead at 6-3 when we return.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Your home for the newest games.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy.
Jake Dempsey begins the bottom half of the 4th inning. 3 runs in for the Zap in the top half. As we take a look at the ILB standings, you see the Casper Spuds just about wrapping up the best record, 17-4. The Oahe Zap in last place, 4-20, but a win to break that 11-game losing streak. Certainly a good sign of momentum. You see the Spearfish Sasquatch right in the middle, 12-10. 5.5 games back of Casper. But you look at the run differential this season. I mean, Spearfish Sasquatch at plus 21, of course. Got the Casper Spuds plus 112. But outside of Casper, Sasquatch are the only team with a positive run differential, despite the Sodbusters being 7 games over 500.
Yeah, the Spuds lineup, I mean, top to bottom is rock solid, as both of these teams have seen so far early this year.
Count is 2 balls and a strike on Danny Cook. 9-hole hitter for the Sasquatch. Got an RBI single. His first trip to the plate back in the second inning and grounds one to short. Going to be a tough play. Snabs ranging towards the bag. Throws to first and just beats Danny Cook, who's hustling hard down the line. Ground out to short begins the home half of the fourth.
Yeah, nice play from Buck Snabs over there at short. Kind of a soft ground ball that goes up the middle on him, but he does a nice job staying out in front of the ball, fielding it quickly, and a quick transition to his throwing hands. Important on that one, a bang-bang play at first.
Brings up now back to the top of the order with the bases empty. It's Ryan Bachman, who takes strike one from Johnson.
So Johnson last inning, his first scoreless inning of the day. 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second. Now looking to settle down as he's seen some run support, just a 6-3 ball game.
Yeah, man, the Zap would probably love a shutdown inning here if you could get 3 up, 3 down from Johnson. Get the bats back to the plate, give Jordan Bowman not a lot of time to rest. Zap would love to try to pounce on him, getting 3 runs in the fourth. This one nearly hits Ryan Bachman, who falls to his knees on a fastball that ends up and in. It's just strike 2, but you can imagine with the way these two teams have spoken to each other from the dugouts, imagine there's some conversations going on there.
Yeah, there's been a little fire between both of these teams throughout the series, and going back all the way to Hyde Stadium, when you play 5 in a row against an opponent, I mean, you're seeing those faces pretty often, and there's some time and some hard feelings that have grown.
Battle of South Dakota, Oahe versus Spearfish. 2-2 is popped up foul along the right side. Ryan Bachman continued to get on base, extending that on base streak, now reaching base in each of his first 21 games played. Did so with a double, so the hit streak, like you mentioned, now improving into double digits, 11, and hitting safely in 17 of 21 games. Mr. Do-It-All, Mr. Sasquatch to some. Ball outside, full count.
Johnson thought he had the 2-2 pitch. A couple of quick steps over to his left. He thought Calcaterra was going to begin to throw that ball around the infield. Instead, just missing outside as the count now full.
Bachman just stays alive as he foul tips that one back to the screen. Keep it at a full count. This is one of 3 games going on today in the ILB. The Fremont Moo are out in Hastings. That score is 5-2. The Moo are in the lead. Game's in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Casper Spuds and Plainsman. Game's supposed to be happening right now in Wyoming as Bachman goes down swinging, but no update as far as I can see on that game. So perhaps a delay out in Wyoming. We'll keep you updated if that's the case. Swing and a miss by Bachman, so Johnson hoping for that shutdown inning, gets 2 up, 2 down.
Well, you mentioned hoping for a 1-2-3 inning, and the Zap will have the heart of the lineup coming up once again in the 5th inning. It'll be the 2-hitter Noah Wiggins, and then followed by Buck Snabs and Vince Polizzi. All 3 of them have been hot at the plate recently.
Gostisha takes a first pitch strike. Productive day at the plate for Braden Gostisha. He reached on a drop third strike in the bottom half of the first and later came around to score a run and then drove in a run in the second inning with an RBI single. And he also prevented a run with a great play out in center field. Beginning of a relay play that got Mason Lang out at the plate to keep the Zap off the board at that point in time.
Yeah, do it all day from Gostisha. Now, perhaps he's showing us why he's in the 2-hole with the couple RBI knockback in the second inning.
2 balls and a strike on Gostisha. Mentioned getting the start in the 2-hole. The batting average among the lowest on the team, but certainly has the ability at the plate. We saw guys, we've seen several times this season, guys struggle at the plate. Javier Marcial had his struggles, but trust the process, and Braden Gostisha, like the way he swings the bat and works counts. Got to assume the hits are going to come at some point, and when they do, they're going to come in a flurry. He's not a career 130 guy, so the law of probability hopes that in the second half that average can go up. Grounded along the first base line, fielded on the backhand by Polizzi. Shovel underhand to Johnson, and it's the first 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Johnson. He sets down 9-1-2 in order, and through 4 innings, the Sasquatch carry a 3-run lead at 6-3.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time. I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
You know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
Chiropractic and sports performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today, and let's get you to your peak.
You mentioned in the top half of the inning, Evan, the heart of the order up for the Oahe Zap. Noah Wiggins, Buck Snabs, Vince Polizzi, 2, 3, and 4 going against Jordan Bowman after putting up 3 runs in the top of the 4th inning and getting a shutdown inning from Aiden Johnson. Zap hoping that the momentum has turned in their favor here as we approach the middle part of this ball game, top half of the 5th. Jordan Bowman back out there, quiet bullpen for the Sasquatch. Bowman's thrown just 65 pitches to this point, and losing control of the bat. Bat goes flying off the hands of Noah Wiggins. Went all the way into the bullpen, through the door. How about that? The door's not very wide along the third base line, but it squeaked through. Strike 1 on Wiggins.
Yeah, and luckily no one down there beyond the Zap dugout, so Wiggins and the guys will likely have a bit of a laugh after this at bat. But now the count 1-1.
Protective netting doesn't go all the way down to the bullpen. That's a base hit into center field off the bat of Wiggins, who was 0 for 2 before that. Gets his first base knock of the game to begin the offense in the 5th.
Well, yeah, first throwing the bat out there, and then throwing the bat at the ball. A solid line drive back out to center field. And the Zap looking to keep the line moving for the 2nd inning in a row as the leadoff man is on.
Dangerous Buck Snabs now comes to the plate. Highlighted him in the off-the-wall stats, what he's been doing over his last 8 games. Batting average close to 400. Goes after the first pitch and hits it in the left field. That's going to get down to the left of Syme. Speed from Wiggins on the base pass. He's headed for third. He's going to be waved around. Throw comes all the way into third. No play at the plate. RBI double for Buck Snabs. And the Zap have scored 4 unanswered at 6-4.
Yeah, and if you're the Oahe Zap, a fast start to the inning, just 4 pitches in. You had the base hit from Wiggins. Buck Snabs all over that pitch, lining it out to the left of Lane Syme out there in left field. Nothing he could do about that one.
Well, we've mentioned it all 5 innings, really. Zap have clearly put together the game plan of attack Jordan Bowman early in the count. Jump on first pitch strikes if you get them. That one was a perfectly placed strike on the outside corner to Vince Polizzi, but when the Zap have gotten first pitch fastballs, they've swung at it almost every time, and several times it's resulted in a hit, especially the 2nd time through the order for these guys. Trying to keep the lineup going, Vince Polizzi fouls it away, and Bowman is ahead of Polizzi 0-2.
Well, Polizzi, 1 hard hit ball in this game, that back in the 2nd inning, but that was right at Gastisha. And then a high fly ball seemed to be a pop-up, but landing down there in right field that would go for a double. I mean, if you saw the contact off the bat, you would have think reversed the two.
This is into right field. Humming on is Martial. He makes the catch. That ball hung up there just enough for Martial to come in and make the play, and that is the first out.
Such an interesting game. I mean, once again, a hard hit ball off the bat of Polizzi for the second time, as those two have now gone for lineouts to Gastisha and Martial. And his double, once again, the high fly ball.
It's the beauty of baseball, isn't it? That's why it's one of the toughest sports, if not the toughest sport. Being a batter, got to just forget the hard hit balls. Sometimes the luck is on your side, sometimes it isn't, and all you can do is sort of look up to the baseball gods, ask for some hits. Fly out to right field for Vince Polizzi is the first out. That brings up the DH now, Mason Lang, who takes just outside. Now a ball and a strike on Lang.
Lang already 2 for 2 today. Ripped a line drive last inning in the fourth, back up to center field. That would score Buck Snabs from third.
Sasquatch jumped out to a 6-0 lead with runs in the first and second, 2 in the first, 4 in the second. Since then, 4 unanswered off the bats of the Zaps. This one's into center field. Gastisha won't get there in time. It takes a funky hop on the outfield grass, and now being waved home is Snabs. The throw to the plate is in time, but Snabs decided to hang at third, and a wise decision. Advancing to second on the throw is Lang, and now runners on second and third with one away.
Yeah, definitely a wise decision. Haberger has been aggressive all game at third, and the throw was a little offline, but Snabs still likely would have been out at the plate. I mean, it's been interesting to see. They've been aggressive coming around third all season long, but this game you might say a little too aggressive. Lang advances on the throw, so things work out on that one for the Zap.
First pitch swinging for Mike Monham. The Zap now get the tying run in scoring position here in the top of the fifth inning after what seemed like a game the Sasquatch might run away with through 2. Has not been that way. The Zap with 10 hits in this ball game already. It's a foul ball off the bat of Monham, who has 2 of those hits.
Yeah, Monham a double back in the second, and then a weird little shot back to the pitcher, Bowman, who is unable to handle that, the single coming last inning. How about Mason Lang, who's now 3 for 3 on the day?
Monham, his hands wanted to swing at that one, but his brain said no. He able to hold up and take ball 1. Good take on a fastball just off the edge. So Snabs at third, Lang on second. 3 hits in the inning, 1 run already in for the Zap. 1-2 pitch. Lined, left field, base hit. Syme will play it on a few hops. 1 run will score. Here comes Lang. He's going to be held up at third. RBI single for Mike Monham, who's 3 for 3 as well. And the Zap have pulled within 1, now 6-5.
This is absolutely unbelievable from Mike Monham, who's now 3 for 3 on the day. He came into this series hitting just 125. And he is now 5 for 7 with 4 RBIs, cutting the deficit to just 1. The Zap still threatening with runners on the corners, 1 out.
The catcher, Will Calcaterra, who looks at a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Now a strike on Calcaterra, who flew out in the second and struck out in the fourth. So a guy that Bowman would love to attack and retire here. Keep runners on the corners and get through this inning. Runner goes. Pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Bachman totally dekes out Monham. Javier Marcial makes the play, and they'll get him at first. I don't know if you were able to see that on the broadcast, but Ryan Bachman made a beautiful deke at second base, and that fly ball will turn into a double play and keep the Zap to just 2 runs in the fifth, and it'll keep the Sasquatch in the lead. They'll lead at 6-5 when we return here for the bottom of the fifth.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, The Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at The Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
Some unusual double plays in this game. That's twice we've seen a 9-3 double play. That doesn't happen every day, but we've seen it twice, and it's only the 5th inning. 3 double plays between these two teams combined as Kyle Finn looks at strike 1, but all things considered, if you're the Oahe Zap, falling behind 6-0, if they can keep this a 6-5 game through 5 innings, they're more than happy with that. Finn growls at foul, 0-2.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about Aiden Johnson, his struggles in the first 2 innings. Well, that was just his 70th pitch now as he's worked his way into the bottom of the 5th after early struggles, facing just 7 hitters over the 3rd and 4th innings.
Finn lines 1 foul. Yeah, you look at the two teams here in the bottom of the 5th. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Oahe Zap. 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Sasquatch. Zap are out hitting Spearfish. It's a fastball, man, that just misses the edge on Kyle Finn. The Zap dugout thought it was strike 3, and it just missed on that outer half.
Well, I think that's a call that that they believe was going against the Zap in the top half of the inning. There were some pitches that were on the outer portion of the plate or a little bit off, called for a strike.
This time the breaking ball gets Finn swinging. Retired on strikes for the first out in the home half of the 5th.
Well, no matter, 1 pitch later, Finn goes down.
Still able to get the strikeout and get the first out of the inning, and he's been able to do that each of the last 3 frames. Retire that leadoff man. The Sasquatch bats have been quiet since that 2nd inning. Only 2 hits. And now Javier Marcial, who's had, well, a tough day at the plate to say the least. Maybe not entirely his fault. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the first. That's a way to get back on the right foot. After a double play each of his first 2 at-bats, he singles through the left side. Gets the offense going here in the 5th.
Once again, first pitch swing hard. Line drive ground ball, you might call it, through the left side.
Bring up Dylan Darnall, one of the Sasquatch's hottest hitters in the month of June. Able to continue it today. After a homer yesterday, he's got a triple today. RBI triple back in the 1st inning. He grounded out to 2nd in the 3rd.
Well, you think about how aggressive the Sasquatch have been at the plate. That can also help Aiden Johnson on the mound. You feel like you're still in a rhythm, even after you've given up a couple of hits.
Darnell looks at a ball off the edge. So Johnson falls behind here 2-0. Johnson's done a good job in throwing strikes here today. Only 1 walk issued. And looking at both these pitchers, only 1 walk between the 2 of them, but 19 combined hits. A lot of offense in terms of swinging the bat. There's another hit off the bat of Dylan Darnell. This might split the outfielders in left center. Well cut off in left field by Wiggins. That's going to hold Marcial at 3rd. The double off the bat of Dylan Darnall has the Sasquatch going in the 5th, 2 in scoring position with just 1 away.
Yeah, big spot here for the Sasquatch, who have now surrendered 5 unanswered, 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out. Bringing up Micah Coleman. This is another put the ball in play spot for Coleman. It looks like Jackson Mix will play in at 3rd for the Zap. Snabs and Martin remain back in the middle infield, so a ground ball will score a run.
And Micah Coleman is the guy you want at the plate if you're the Sasquatch. He grounds 1 to 3rd, Nix is going to look back Marcial and throw to first. Ball hit too hard to bring home Marcial, and runners will stay put at second and third with now 2 away.
Well, that was bound to happen after I said a ground ball will score a run, huh? I mean, you
just got to prove you wrong. Exactly what Aiden Johnson was looking for in that situation, something to keep the runners put. Now he's 1 out away from getting out of this and working through a 5th inning, putting up a 3rd straight 0 on the board for the Zap. He'll have to go through Lane Syme, who skies one up onto the infield. This might end the inning, should end the inning. The shortstop, Buck Snabs, will call everyone off and make the play. So how about that? Aiden Johnson, the 2nd and 3rd, 1 away. Sasquatch threatening. 2 straight outs on 2 straight pitches. Gets him out of the jam. Sasquatch leave a pair stranded. We're headed to the 6th. Score, 6-5, Sasquatch.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Trey Martin will lead off for the Zap in the top of the 6th inning. Jordan Bowman remaining out there. Andrew Arganziano picked up a ball but quickly stopped throwing, so there's nobody throwing currently in the Sasquatch bullpen. They're going to hope to try to get a 6th inning out of Jordan Bowman, whose pitch count just sits at 80 through 5. He's facing 8-9-1 in the Zap order, beginning with Trey Martin, who takes ball 1.
Yeah, and Lucas Creighton has begun warming now in the Zap bullpen. Well, Johnson as well, 80 pitches through 5 innings. We'll see if he returns for the 6th.
2-0 on Martin. This is a guy you want to attack if you're Jordan Bowman, but falling behind 2-0. Control has been one of Bowman's strengths today. 57 strikes through 82 pitches. And he gets a strike there on a fastball to Martin, who just gets a piece of it. Count goes to 2-1.
Now, I don't know if this is just me, but Micah Coleman is playing very far left in the infield. There is a massive hole up the middle.
Fastball is upstairs to Martin now. 3 balls and a strike to Trey Martin. Martin 0 for 2 today. Searching for a hit. Grounding one to short. The aforementioned Coleman fields and throws to first in time to retire Trey Martin. That's out number 1.
Well, right after I said that, the ball hit right at Micah Coleman. I'm noticing a pattern here,
Yeah,
Ari.
if you don't think the announcer's jinx is real, I don't know. Today might be leaning towards changing that that opinion. I think Evan's got a little bit of announcer jinx going on today.
So Emiliano Curiel won't get a hit here.
Imagine that. Of course, he's going after the first pitch, though, as the Zap have done all game long, and he fouls it away.
Well, Curiel now his 3rd at bat against his former teammate. Couple of RBIs on a base hit with the bases loaded coming back in the 4th.
Chops one foul along the 3rd base line. 1 for 2 day for Curiel. Struck out looking and got that RBI single. Sasquatch put up 2 in the 1st, 4 in the 2nd, before the Zap came back with 3 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. Get back in this ball game. Hits slightly in favor of the Zap, though the score 1 run in favor of the Sasquatch, who haven't trailed, I should say, since taking the lead in the first. 0-2 pitch is in the air to right field. Marcial, a couple steps over to his right. And that's 2 away here in the 6th.
And one thing to add about the Zap, this is a clubhouse that's had a different mentality on this trip to Spearfish. In game 1, they came out of the gate swinging. Yesterday, they fell behind in an early hole, but they were battling back throughout the early innings as it eventually worked to a 7-7 game in the 5th. Today, you see them in a 6-0 hole. They battle back in the 4th and 5th innings. They've put 11 hits on the board. This is offense with a newfound sense of life.
Yeah, this was an offense, I think we highlighted it in the first game between these teams when they played 2 days ago. Sasquatch were averaging close to 7 runs per game, while the Zap, I think, close to 4. That has not been the case over the first 2 games of this set. Of course, you had the 16-10 monstrous offensive performance by these 2 teams last night. Of course, the 14-10 win for the Zap in game 1. It's been all offense through the first 2 games of this 3-game set for the Sasquatch at home.
Now back to the top of the order for the Zap. Jackson Mix, he's worked a walk tonight. Hard hit ball in the first, ground out to second in the 4th.
And a base hit in the 6th as he lines that one up the middle. A 2-out hit for the leadoff man. Keeps the inning alive for the Zap.
It's just a great approach from Mix, not trying to do too much with the pitch, middle. Right back up the middle. As now a runner on with 2 outs.
Jordan Bowman, who's now up to 92 pitches. This might be the most we've seen by a Sasquatch pitcher this year. I'd be leaning towards saying it is, but I don't have the exact numbers. Usually starters tend to go 70, 80 pitches for the Sasquatch, but Jordan Bowman trying to get one last out, finish off 6 innings for the Sasquatch. He needs one more. Facing a tough hitter in Noah Wiggins. He just misses with the breaking ball there as he locked up Wiggins, but couldn't get the call on a pitch that looked pretty good, ball 1.
Yeah, Wiggins clearly sitting fastball early in the count. You know, he recognized the curveball, took it the whole way. Not really sure where that one missed.
Check in on Mix at first. It is Andrew Argenziano who has begun warming once again in the Sasquatch bullpen. So he will likely be the first man in out of the bullpen. Head coach Justice Scott would love that to be in the 7th and would love to get one more out from Bowman in the 6th. That fastball goes off the helmet of Noah Wiggins. Thank goodness he looks to be okay. Stays on his feet, and he will jog over to first as the fastball got away from Bowman. And the Zap with 2 runners on and 2 away.
Yeah, well, Bowman was working quickly here in the 6th inning. Got the first 2 outs, then a single from Mix. Looked like a fastball that just got away from him, and Wiggins couldn't get out of the way of that one.
Fastball has been sitting low to mid-80s for Jordan Bowman today, so you got to imagine that's 80 or so miles an hour right off the helmet. That's why you wear those things. No Wiggins able to be in the game. He's at first. Jackson Mix at second. Again, the first pitch breaking ball misses upstairs to Buck Snabs, and dangerous part of the order here for Jordan Bowman and the Sasquatch, who are clinging on to just the 1-run lead. Buck Snabs has had himself another good day at the plate, continuing a hot month of June, and he's in a hitter's count here. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Snaps an RBI double back in the 5th, bunting for a base hit in the 4th, possibly jump-starting his day. You mentioned he's been hot and terrific all month.
2-0 swinging and hitting into left field. This ball is fair, just inside the left field line. Snabs is going to bring home 1 run. Here comes Wiggins. He'll score all the way from first. 2 out, 2 RBI double for Buck Snabs, and the Oahe Zap have scored 7 unanswered runs, and they lead at 7-6.
Yeah, just a fantastic swing there from Snabs. The fastball elevated, and he took it deep to left field. Snabs now 3 hits in the last 3 innings. That was his 3rd RBI of the game. And it looks like that might do it for Jordan Bowman, a mound visit. He hasn't been pulled just yet. But 3 runs in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th, 2 runs in the 6th, 7 unanswered for the Oahe Zap. That gives them a 1-run lead here.
Yeah, it's his head coach at Cerro Soso and his head coach here with the Sasquatch, Justice Scott, who goes out and talks with Jordan Bowman, gave him a couple Fist bumps right to the chest, telling him, hey, stay in this ball game. Let's get one more out. Got to attack Vince Palizzi, one of the biggest bats in this Oahe Zap order. The line for Bowman, not pretty. 13 hits and 7 runs in, but got to forget that and get one more out. Get through this 6th inning. 2 away, 2 runs in for the Zap. Off the double by Snabs as Palizzi hits one hard into right center field. Gastisha, long run, still going back, and he puts it away a couple steps in front of the warning track. Coach Justice Scott sticks with Bowman through this 6th inning, and he gets through the 6th, but not before the Zap bring home 2 and take the lead. 7-6, Zap in front for the first time tonight when we return.
For the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
And sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever, getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Aiden Johnson's day is done. He goes 5 innings, allows 6 runs, but only 3 of them earned. All things considered, a good outing for Aiden Johnson, who's now in line for a win after 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Turns the ball over to the bullpen and Lucas Creighton.
Yeah, Creighton, his second appearance of the series. He's gone 6 games this year after coming back from a shoulder injury. 7 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 6 runs, 7 walks against 9 strikeouts. Back in the series opener on Wednesday, 1 inning of work, giving up a couple of runs, just 1 of those earned.
He'll deal with 8-9-1 in the Sasquatch order, beginning with the catcher Jake Dempsey, then it's the DH Danny Cook, and then the top of the lineup Ryan Bachman, who's start the inning in the hole. Sasquatch trying to jump out in front. Led this one 6-0 through 2, but the Zap 7 unanswered runs, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 2 more in the 6th. They have taken the lead, trying to win a second in their last 3 games after going 11 without winning. They've played a much better, much more competitive 3-game series against the Spearfish Sasquatch here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, and they're a couple innings and away from winning this 3-game set.
Yeah, the Zap have Colin Quandias headed out to the bullpen, but you would think that Julius Cass would possibly be the next arm. Cass with his best performance of the season, once again coming back on Wednesday, went 2 scoreless innings, giving up only 1 walk, which has been the struggle for him to this point.
Jake Dempsey goes down on strikes after 3 balls to begin the at-bat. Able to work back in the count and get the strikeout. Crichton gets the chase on the fastball, and that's out number 1.
It was just going to say, you know, sometimes tough as a hitter, you see 2 consecutive strikes in a 3-2 count, and you just swing at something a little bit off the zone.
Fastball up and away. That's been the spot that Crichton has been trying to go to. He gets a first pitch strike on Danny Cook as he throws that pitch for a strike for the first time. Got the swing and miss on a very similar pitch that was further off the plate. Now even count on the 9-hole hitter, and for the Sasquatch, this is what you love to have. A guy like Danny Cook, who's been continuing to hit the ball well, 1 for 2 day at the plate. Essentially just a second leadoff guy. behind. Well, that pitch missed low. 2 balls and a strike. I thought that might have caught the bottom part of the zone.
Yeah, Cook's single coming back in the second inning. That scored Lane Syme. And at the time, that extended it to a 3-0 Squatch lead.
Again, the fastball on the outside corner. That's a strike. Danny Cook with an exhale, thought it was off the plate.
Let's see if Creighton goes back to the outside corner there. That one, perhaps a generous call. And it seems like the outside corner has stretched recently in the past couple innings.
That one's a little too far outside. He was trying to go back out there. Too far to get a chase there on Cook. It's a second straight full count for the lefty since coming into the game. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Danny Cook. Again, tries the outside corner and misses. So after a strikeout to begin the inning, Sasquatch get a 1-out base runner thanks to a walk by Danny Cook, and the lineup flips back over.
Yeah, once again, in the full count on Jake Dempsey, he went with the fastball up and away. Fastball on Danny Cook, out and away. You know, Cook laying off that one, so he'll take his free pass.
Bring up the top of the order, Ryan Bachman. Another good day for the 4th-year Sasquatch. Doubled in the first, reached on an error in the second. Struck out in the 4th, and now coming up, trying to keep the offense rolling in the 6th. Danny Cook with decent amount of speed off of first. Tougher to steal with a lefty on the mound.
I was just about to say, you know, in a 1-run ball game, runner on first and a contact hitter like Bachman up, do you get aggressive here on the base paths?
Thinking maybe if you get a 3-ball count or a full count like he's been with in the first 2 at-bats, maybe you see Cook on the move, trusting Bachman to put it in play. But with a guy with Bachman's ability at the plate, don't really want to take the bat out of his hands. 1-1. This is inside, now 2-1.
Yeah, Creighton has been struggling to hit the corners. I mean, he's got a couple swing and misses up and away, but they're spiking a fastball down and in, falling behind once again in the count on now on Ryan Bachman, 2-1.
Another fastball misses, so 3-1 on Bachman. Braden Gostisha is on deck for the Sasquatch if Creighton can't induce a double play here and get out of it. Sasquatch offense has been quiet over the last 3 innings. 3 straight zeros put up by the Zap. That's a strike. Umpire punched him out, but that's only strike 2.
Yeah, home plate umpire getting a little bit overexcited there. Count goes full now on Bachman, as we just mentioned. Maybe this sets Cook in motion off of first.
Have to be smart about it with a lefty on the mound. Of course, Creighton probably thinking it. Cook will go, and Bachman hits it in the air to left field. Charging in is Wiggins, and he makes the catch. Retreating back to first is Cook, and so another full count. This time is back in the favor of Creighton. He gets Bachman to fly out. That's the 2nd out.
Yeah, good pitch there by Creighton, just down and in on Bachman. It seems like Bachman just missed on that one a little bit under the ball, hit high in the air towards left field. A lot of time for Cook to get back to first, though, who was running on the pitch.
And Bachman was certainly frustrated with that one as he let the bat go a little harder out of his hands on his way down to first. Braden Gostisha now with an opportunity, takes a first pitch ball. Gostisha's had quite the day, as we've mentioned, with action at the plate and action in the fields, making a nice play out in center and also driving in a run at the dish. A bat that's been quiet for the Sasquatch as of late. Danny Cook takes off. Throw down to second is a good one, but not in time, as Cook, too fast, was able to go on first move against Creighton, and he steals second.
You know, this is a big batter here for Creighton. Creighton hasn't necessarily had his best stuff here in the bottom of the 6th inning, but he's gotten 2 outs. Now he has a runner on second. Gostisha is the man to attack, or else you're going to have to face Kyle Finn and Javier Marcial. He's in a 1-1 count now with 2 men out.
Base hit could tie the game. Beautiful breaking ball. Catches the heart of the plate. Gostisha locked up. Strike 2.
And now Creighton's in a hitter's head here. Wasn't expecting the breaking ball. What do? Do you bury a curveball down in the dirt? Do you go with the high heat? I wouldn't expect him to be throwing a strike here. perhaps inducing a swing and a miss is the goal.
1-2. Breaking ball again, grounded to first, snared by Palizzi, who takes it to the bag himself, and that retires Gostisha. Sasquatch leave a runner stranded at second to finish off the home half of the sixth. The Zap lead at 7-6 when we return, top of the seventh coming up.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Fans come out for our second fireworks night. It's approaching fast coming up, and we want to see you here at the ballpark to celebrate fireworks night on June 28th when the Sasquatch take on the Plainsmen. First pitch at 6:05 p.m. It's the second of, I believe, 4 fireworks nights over the course of this season, so we hope to see you out here at the ballpark coming up at the end of June. New pitcher in for the Sasquatch. It's Andrew Argenziano after Jordan Bowman's day. 6 innings, he allows 13 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, strikes out 3 and walks 1. All things considered, he was allowed around the strike zone, throwing a lot of strikes, a lot of fastballs, but the Zap, hard hit contacts, able to capitalize on Jordan Bowman through 6 innings. The bullpen will take it the rest of the way. Andrew Argenziano, first pitch strike to begin the 7th.
Yeah, well, Argenziano threw on Wednesday against the Oahe Zap. Didn't fare so well, just 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned.
And he hits Mason Lang, first batter, to begin the 7th inning, and that was something that was a bit of a factor for Argenziano that last time out was the control. He came in bases loaded after Cade Bridges couldn't get the 3rd out in that inning and worked through that frame. They turned it over to Argenziano in that big spot, and he struggled with command. Gave up a couple hits, like you mentioned. Some of those runs his, some of those were Jackson Peters inherited in that game. Part of that late comeback the Zap had in game 1 of this 3-game set. Zap won't need a comeback now. They're just looking to extend the lead, already leading by 1. They've already done the comeback part. 7 unanswered runs in this ball game. Mike Monham, the right fielder, who's had quite a day at the plate, steps up and is locked up on a breaking ball, 0-2.
Yeah, what a day to this point for the 5 and 6 hitters for the Zap. Mason Lang now on base for his 4th straight at bat. Mike Monham 3 for 3 today, looking to continue his torrid stretch.
Here's the 0-2. Tried to go back to that same pitch, but missed it high. Yeah, Lang and Monham out of the 5-6 hole. That's 7 for 7 in terms of getting on base on plate appearances. Those guys have been a big part of this comeback for the Zap. Lang dancing off of first, fastball missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Monham.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see with how Argenziano attacks Monham. You've got a runner on first. Calcaterra and Martin have been struggling a little bit at the plate today. On deck and in the hole, is this a hitter you attack here if you're on the mound?
He does, and he gets weak contact along the right side. Bachman going to be a tough play. Gets it out quickly. The throw to first, not in time. Man, a bang, bang play at first base. And Monum is ruled safe. Sasquatch dugout unhappy. Argenziano unhappy, but either way, it's a base hit for Monum, who's 4 for 4 and 2 runners on with nobody out.
Yeah, Ari, that's the type of play. I mean, I don't think we can say one way or the other how that went from up here. So close, bang, bang. Kyle Finn trying to extend his 6-7 frame to get the ball as fast as he can, but not in time.
Catcher Will Calcaterra, who will take strike one. Calcaterra's 0 for 3 today. This is a guy that you gotta have if you're Andrew Argenziano here. The bottom third of the order are a combined 1 for 9. Those are the 3 coming up here with nobody out. Argenziano does attack Calcaterra with 2 strikes. Already a strikeout victim once today, struck out in the 4th.
And you got Martin on deck. I was almost expecting to see a pinch hitter for the Zap. He's 0 for 3 today as well with a strikeout.
This is lofted along the first base line. It's going to get out of the reach of Kyle Finn towards the dugout.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Martin lay down a bunt on deck. Obviously not going to see that from Calcaterra now in a 2-strike count.
Middle infield staying back. Kyle Finn was in on the first pitch but backed off. Now playing behind Monum at first. Another late swing by Calcaterra to stay alive.
Calcaterra now fighting off 2 pitches in an 0-2 count. Doing well here. He just seems like he's a bit behind the fastball. I'd expect Argenziano to continue to go with the heater. Don't want to speed the bat up on a breaking ball.
He's got a good breaking ball, but like you said, reading the swings, he's been unable to catch up to the fastball. He tries it again, and again, Calcaterra is late, but he stays alive to foul it away.
Well, same pitch, same result. And now let's see if Argenziano tries to extend the strike zone here, get a chase from Calcaterra. He's been throwing heaters that have pretty much been down the middle to this point.
2 runners on, 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, that nearly clips what Calcaterra, and I think he wanted it to, almost tried to lean into it with that front shoulder. Count goes to 1-2.
Well, I'm not sure if he was leaning into it or backing off of it. I mean, that pitch had good movement on it. It almost caught the inside corner of the plate.
Mason Lang off of second, Mike Monum off of first. Argenziano's 1-2. Fastball gets away from him. Now an even count on the catcher.
Regardless of the outcome, a good at-bat here from Calcaterra, who's continued to battle. He's taken 2 good pitches in an 0-2 count, as it's now even.
Calcaterra goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Andrew Argenziano. Second time Calcaterra has been retired on strikes today, and the strikeout keep those runners put. Now 1 out on the board.
Now the question is, do you see Trey Martin lay down a bunt here? Darnall's playing relatively back at third. Martin has some speed, and he's been struggling at the plate.
Doesn't bunt on the first pitch, and he takes on the outside corner. Yeah, Kyle Finn was playing almost on the outfield grass along the first base line behind Mike Monum, so there was certainly a hole there on a push bunt. If the Zap wanted it, they didn't go for it there. Now the count 0-1. And fouled away on a funky swing by Martin, now 0-2.
Yeah, Argenziano recognizing the situation. He's going right at Trey Martin here.
Got the 9-hole hitter as well on deck, and Emiliano Curiel, if he can get the second out. Chance to finish out this half inning without having to face the top of the order again. And Jackson Mix and Noah Wiggins, those are the guys that have been doing the damage.
Well, Curiel has 5 ribbies over these past 2 games. Almost a 9-hitter that you like entering the top of the lineup. Call it your like second leadoff hitter. Not necessarily in the way that that the Sasquatch have Danny Cook, who's hitting .393 down there in the 9-hole, but Curiel has been playing good ball.
Fastball just outside on Trey Martin. Martin was also a strikeout victim in the 4th inning. Both strikeouts part of the 3 strikeout effort by Jordan Bowman, who started this game, went 6 innings, and now the lineup, the bullpen I should say, coming in form of Andrew Argenziano. First inning from the Sasquatch bullpen. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I talked with head coach Justice Scott before today's game about this recent stretch. The offense, of course, he's happy with. The defense, he'd like to see some improvements, but these are the innings from the bullpen that he needs these guys to step up. These middle innings, innings 5, 6, 7, and 8. He needs these outs from the bullpen. That's something that's sort of a lot of ILB teams were searching for early in the season and still searching for.
Yeah, absolutely. As Argenziano, after working ahead 0-2, now a 3-2 count on Martin. Defense has been good so far for the Sasquatch today. No errors yet.
And that is a big walk there to Trey Martin after getting ahead 0-2. Argenziano loses a hitter who's been struggling at the plate and gifts the Zap a base runner, and now the bases are loaded for Emiliano Curiel.
And that does 2 things right there. It puts the runner on third with just 1 out, but Curiel is so good at putting the ball in play in these situations. He showed it yesterday with a 2-run single to take a 9-7 lead, showing it earlier today with an RBI knock.
This is chopped foul by Emiliano Curiel. The Sasquatch defense, I should say, remaining back on that first pitch. The corner's in a little bit with Finn and Darnall, but the middle infield hoping for a double play. Corners looking to get out number 1, or at least out number 2 at the plate. It's Mason Lang on third, Mike Monham on second, and Trey Martin on first. 9-hole hitter Emiliano Curiel at the plate going against Andrew Argenziano in the top of the 7th. Zap on top by a run, looking to extend the lead. Chopped in front of the mound. Argenziano will go to the plate for 1. The throw to first, that's not in time. Sasquatch will get 1 out at the plate. Curiel reaches on the fielder's choice. Now 2 away and the base is still loaded.
Well, that'll go down as a 1-2 put out, not something you're writing down very often. But yeah, Curiel just a bit over the top of that baseball. Easy play for Argenziano coming off the mound. But now he'll have to face the top of the lineup in Jackson Mix. Mix 1 for 3, who's worked a walk on the day.
Big spot right now in this ball game as the Zap are trying to blow it open. At the top of the order, Jackson Mix, who cuts on a fastball from Argenziano.
Yeah, that's a rare.
Trying to shut down the Zap here in the top of the 7th. He hasn't allowed a run to this point, despite a single, a hit by pitch, and a walk. Bases were loaded with 1 away. Big ground out by Emiliano Curiel. 0-1. Ball and a strike.
I was just going to say on that first pitch, it was a rare big swing from Jackson Mix, who's usually so short and quick to the ball. Now a 1-1 count. Let's see if he changes his approach.
Argenziano's 1-1. This one's yanked, goes down to the backstop. Dempsey won't get there in time. The wild pitch brings home a run. Mason Lang trots in, and the Zap extend the lead. It's 8-6.
Big mistake there from Argenziano on the mound, and a huge insurance run for the Oahe Zap coming in the top of the 7th inning. I mean, you have the bases loaded with 2 outs, and you think you got to bring a run around to score. Expecting it to happen at the plate, but a miscue off the mound from Argenziano gives the Zap a 2-run lead.
Check that. That's Mike Monham who comes around to score. Lang was retired at home on the fielder's choice. This is grounded to second. Should end the inning. Bachman to first in time. And it does end the inning. The Zap bring home a run. 1 pitch too late for Andrew Argenziano. The wild pitch scores run number 8 for Oahe. Time to stretch here at the ballpark, and the Zap lead it 8-6.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Zap bring home another run in the top of the 7th. They now lead it 8-6. 8 unanswered runs for the Oahe Zap, and the Sasquatch have middle part of their order coming to the plate. It's the 3-hitter Kyle Finn, followed by Marcial and Darnall. Trying to generate some offense against Lucas Creighton here in this home half of the 7th.
Something really interesting to see. Jacob Swallow has just trotted out to the Zap bullpen. Normally a starter his last game on June 17th. He'd be off of short rest if he had to come into this ball game. I would expect, as I said earlier, it to be Julius Cass coming out of the pen next. Swallow looks like he's heading back to the dugout. So perhaps jumping the gun on my end.
Well, you mentioned the Zap, maybe a little thinner on the bullpen. Without Escobar today, who pitched in yesterday's game. A lot of pitches yesterday. He'll be unavailable today. Zap are going to need 9 outs over these final 3 innings from somebody else. 2 balls and 2 strikes on, 2 balls and 1 strike on Kyle Finn. Or no, 3 balls and a strike. It's Kyle Finn trying to generate some offense to begin the 7th. The tying run standing on deck. And a strike on the outside corner. He makes it a full count, and I think Lucas Creighton likes full counts. It's been the full count, I believe, every hitter he's faced, just about, all but maybe 1 since coming into this ballgame. Full count pitch. Kyle Finn down on strikes for the 2nd time today. First out of the 7th for Lucas Creighton.
And Creighton threw 31 pitches on Wednesday. So you're not sure how long he has out there on the mound either. It's now Colin Kwandi who is continuing to warm up in the Zap bullpen.
Cleanup hitter Javier Marcial comes through the plate. Grounded into a double play in the 1st and flew into one of 2 9-3 double plays that we've seen today. One for either side as the catcher, Will Calcaterra, will go out and talk with Creighton ahead of this at-bat to Marcial, maybe just getting on the same page with their signs or the way they'll attack Marcial. Marcial was able to single in the 5th, so he's 1 for 3 today. Continuing to hit in the month of June after an 0 for 19 start. It's been much, much better since the calendar flipped over. He's now 11 for 28 in the month of June, batting close to 400 this month, and a first pitch ball to Marcial.
Yeah, Marcial hitting into a couple of double plays back in the 1st and 2nd inning, shortening up on what could have been a lot more damage despite 6 runs already from the Sasquatch. Back then you didn't think much of it, but now at this point with an 8-6 Zap lead, you go back to those plays and wonder what could have been.
Yeah, 6 runs on 5 hits through the first 2 innings. Since that point, no runs on 3 hits. Sasquatch offense has been quiet ever since the 2nd inning. The Zap have come all the way back to score 8 runs, and they now lead it 8-6 here in the home half of the 7th. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Marcial. That one's on the corner. Strike 3, looking back-to-back Ks to begin the bottom of the 7th for Lucas Creighton.
Zap dugout fired up on that one, taunting Marcial a little bit as he headed back to the dugout. So Creighton had 22 pitches entering the inning after the full count, and that was a 4-pitch at bat. That would put him somewhere around 33 to 34 pitches.
Brings up Dylan Darnell, hoping to extend the half inning. Breaking ball on the corner, strike 1. Creighton pitching with a little more confidence now after that strikeout. You see a little bit more confidence just in the way he's stepping on the mound. Trying to strike out the side here in the 7th. Loses the fastball there.
Yeah, much better command of the zone here. You saw fastballs down and in, up and away. Back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Coming right at Kyle Finn and Javier Marcial to strike out the first 2 of the inning. Now trying to do the same here against Darnall, but he's fell behind in the count 2-1.
Sasquatch just looking to chip away. They still got the tying run on deck. If they can keep this a 2-run ball game, they'd love to, of course, get that run to the plate at some point. 3 balls and a strike now to Darnall, who's had another good day at the plate. A pair of extra base hits, an RBI triple in the 1st, ground out in the 3rd, and a double in the 5th. In that 5th inning, the Sasquatch threatened with 2 on and one out and couldn't bring home a run. Darnell draws a walk, and the tying run will come to the plate. It's the shortstop, Micah Coleman.
Well, knock on wood, we may have just seen a little lightning out in the distance. No one on either side wants to see a delay in this ball game as we have skirted the weather to this point.
Yeah, that lightning's been going on. It feels like maybe one bolt every 1 minute. It's been going on for maybe 5 minutes or so, just off and on out in right fields as it continues. Another bolt there. No visible bolts, I should say. It's just lighting up the clouds, but it's getting a little bit more frequent, of course.
The rain is starting to come down as well.
Yeah. With the way these two teams have played this series, this is, of course, not how you want Game 3 of this three-game set to end, but if it becomes too hard and this game would be called, the Zap would be victorious at this point. Strike on the corner to Micah Coleman.
Yeah, Zap still looking to pick up their first series win of the season. A win today would accomplish that goal.
1-1 from Creighton. That's on the outside corner and off the plate, I should say. 2 balls and a strike. Dylan Darnall with a 2-out walk has brought the tying run to the plate here for the Sasquatch. We'll give you just a update. We're going to be without our center field camera, presumably for the rest of the game. Hoping to save that from the rain if that starts. That's our first thunder. There's a little bit of thunder after that lightning out in right fields. As an umpire, I think you're told when you see lightning that you're probably going to call the game relatively soon after, but right now we're trying to finish off this 7th. The 2-2. This is fouled away. We'll do it again.
Yeah, big at bat here for Coleman. He has a double back in the 3rd. 1 for 3 on the day. But like you said, you don't know when this ball game's going to end, and that just
it's going to be the last inning for the Sasquatch.
Just overemphasizes the importance of this at bat right now for Coleman.
2-2's outside, full count. Well, for any of you movie fans out there, Sasquatch are hoping for maybe a little bit of the natural moment if you've watched that movie. Have you seen it, Evan?
I have not.
It's a good movie. One of the better baseball movies, in my opinion. The lightning comes down, the lightning in the bat, home run on a thunderstorm day. No home run for Coleman here as a pitch is in the dirt. That's a 2nd consecutive walk. And now Lane Syme will come to the plate representing the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Sorry, you wonder if that baseball is starting to get slippy out there for Lucas Creighton. Now Haberger coming out to the mound. Still Colin Quandee warming up in the pen. I don't expect Haberger to yank Creighton just yet. He should be staying in this ball game despite back-to-back walks.
Well, this is a dangerous bat coming up, too, with Lane Syme. Syme is among the team best. I mean, just the way he swings the bat, just his power at the plate. He's got the ability to power one out of here if he gets a pitch he can hit.
And he has a couple of long balls on the season, representing the game's winning run now for the Sasquatch.
I'll be honest, we've got the announcer jinx working today, so you'd be right if you're saying I'm trying to push towards a moment here. Bringing up the natural, bringing up the power of Lane Syme in what could be the last inning for the Sasquatch at the plate with rain on its way. Lucas Creighton gets a fastball past Syme for strike 1.
Ari, what do you think? Is it possible, though, that we get a rain delay and we wait here on the field? It's the home team's decision, so they could choose to wait it out. The radar before the game said it was going to be a quick burst.
Creighton's 0-1. This is swung on and missed. 2 straight fastballs, 2 straight swings and misses, now an 0-2 count.
Now it'll be interesting to see with what Creighton goes with here. Out ahead of Syme on 2 fastballs. You know, runners on 1st and 2nd, you don't want them to advance, so do you risk trying to go low with the breaking ball?
He goes right after him. Fastball swung on and missed. Creighton is fired up. Syme is down on strikes. He ends up striking out 3 in the inning. Our owner, Eric Schmidt, has just walked out to the plate, and they are calling this ball game. Eric Schmidt, our owner, has given the word. That is going to do it. The Oahe Zap pull off the 3-game set victory over the Sasquatch. Your final score is 8-6 in 7 innings. And for the Oahe Zap, you mentioned finally getting the series win. and they get it done against a team who they've been having some word with, let's say that, across this 3-game set, I'm sure they'll have a good bus ride home.
Yeah, you know, a big win here for the Zap. You fall behind in a 6-0 hole, and a little bit surprising to see the game shortened on such short notice. I thought we'd get a little more conversation, but nope, that will do it. So 3 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th and 6th, and a run in the 7th gives the Zap the 8-6 victory. I mean, you really got to look at the 2 guys for the Oahe Zap, Buck Snabs, and, well, look at 3 guys, Buck Snabs, Mason Lang, and Mike Manham. None of Buck Snabs 3 for 4. Neither Mason Lang nor Mike Manham recording an out for the Zap. They really powered this team to the win today.
So our video production intern, Stephen Hogenkamp, has told me that it might be a delay. We'll try to let you know which one it is officially. The Zap are now dancing in front of their dugout as we continue with our 70s night music. Have some probably disco music during this delay, but as it stands right now, we're going to call it a delay. We'll come back on camera if that decision changes and if it is a officially final game. If that would be the case, we'd have a GP Local post-game show after the game. If not, we'll be in a delay for the time being, so we're going to step aside. Rain delay after 7. The Zap lead it 8-6. You can stick around here on YouTube. I'm sure you'll also get updates on the Spearfish Sasquatch social media account as to whether this game is called or not. But have this on in the background. If we return, we'll have the 8th inning for you. Well, fans, for those of you who are sticking with us here on this Friday afternoon, we've been updated from our owner, Eric Schmidt, that this is a lightning delay. The Lightning started towards the end of that bottom half of the 7th inning, and then it hasn't stopped since. We've been getting lightning and thunder. There's very little rain here at the ballpark, but as I mentioned, when the umpires see lightning, they pretty much have to call the game, so that is the case. We're in a lightning delay right now. We'll keep you updated if this one changes or if this one goes final, but as it stands right now, we're going to go back to our rain delay graphic. You can keep this game on in the background, whether you're watching the Stanley Cup Finals or maybe some MLB games back in action towards the end of the night. You can continue watching those, keep this game going on in the background, and if this one goes final or if we come back, we'll have it for you right here on YouTube. So right now, lightning delay through 7 innings, the Zap leading 8-6, and we'll step aside once again, and we'll update you again if anything changes. Welcome to the GP Local postgame show. The Sasquatch and the Zap. This game finally called after 7 innings of play. The Zap end up winning 8-6, and Evan up here in the booth called it, or said right before this game ended, that this would be the first Zap win, a series win, though, so far this season. They've only won 5 games so far, but they were able to take 2 out of 3 from the Sasquatch here at home. And over the 5-game stretch, the Sasquatch still took 3 out of 5. They were able to win both games in Oahe and one of the 3 games here at home. But the Zap able to win this one here today, and the final score here 8-6. Thank you so much for watching the Sasquatch series all series long. We're going to have the rest of Era's weekend. Got 80s night coming up tomorrow night and 90s night the following night when the Sasquatch take on the Plainsmen. So we hope to see you at the ballpark for the next 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday, as they finish off this home stretch for them so far. They've got 5 home games, and then they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then they have another 7 home games. So a lot of games coming up here at the ballpark, here at Black Hills Energy Stadium for you to come out to. Hope to see you at the ballpark. For everybody here working behind the scenes, Derek, who stepped up and ran our camera up here in the booth. You might have noticed our high home camera was moving during the game. That was all thanks to the work done by Derek. Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern, running things behind the scenes for Evan Epstein, who joined me, and Stephen for yesterday up here in the booth for all 3 games. I've been Ari Wall. Thanks so much for joining us here for this game. The Zap end up winning 8-6 and a lightning shortened victory here today. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest.